Hey guys, and welcome to this comparison video between Dovetail Games' Flight Sim World and Laminar Research's X-Plane 11. Looking online, there are numerous other videos that which compare the two, yet use modded versions of the simulators, which basically defeats all purpose of a comparison. So in this video, I'll be comparing both simulators using their default vanilla settings, and create a verdict which simulator takes the edge at the moment. It's also definitely worth mentioning that X-Plane 11 is a full release, while Flight Sim World is still very much early access and in beta, so at this moment of time you're only seeing a very small fraction of what this simulator has to offer. I'll be comparing both simulators over 7 different factors: the range of aircraft it has, the quality of each aircraft, the default ground scenery, the night environments, the simulator stability, the simulator modability customization, and the most important of all, the flight dynamics it includes. First of all, the range of aircraft in both games. As default, Flight Sim World comes with 7 different aircraft, all of which are general aviation. With Dovetail Games expected to release more as the game goes further into development, it does stand at a fairly small selection of aircraft to choose from, and not suited for every user who uses the simulator. X-Plane 11, however, arrived with a total of 22 different aircraft, which include a wide variety of types from general aviation, such as the Cessna 172, to commercial airlines such as the 73 and 747s. Many aircraft are ports from previous versions of X-Plane, but they do still live up to the high standards today, meaning that this will gain the first point from me. Next we take a look at the quality of each aircraft that comes packaged with the simulators. This section specifically looks at the modelling and sound. X-Plane 11 does have high quality aircraft, all of which do look good as far as external and internal modelling goes, but X-Plane does however lack as far as sounds can go. Yes, some engine has been modified to include better sounds than previous releases, but it's still far from perfect. Likewise, many of the aircraft that come with the game are not exactly high fidelity in some cases. Flight Sim World aircraft, however, do both look and sound good. A2A helps in developing these aircraft in the game, which results as, in some cases, payware quality aircraft in the game. Sounds within Flight Sim World also trump that of X-Plane as default, meaning that we will award them with the point for this round. Default scenery next, and I think we all know there's only one winner. Flight Sim World uses a system called Ground Class, where a grid is created over the world, to which the simulator will determine whether or not the ground scenery above it is urban, rural, coastal, deserts, etc. This does leave us with a slightly checkerboard effect, which does not always look best. The sky, however, is being improved, especially with the recent integration of True Sky, creating a slightly more natural look to the clouds and weather. X-Plane 11 uses OpenStreetMap data to generate roads and buildings within the simulator. This can produce realistic ground scenery based on that of the real world. Building textures themselves in both simulators are not the greatest by any means. There is only one winner in this category, and that is X-Plane 11. Another trumping you get with these simulators is the night environments for both simulators. Flight Sim World has improved over its predecessor for night environments with the introduction of 3D lighting, yet it still can sometimes appear a bit too dark with minimal visibility available to you. As before, you can only have one winner, and in this case it's X-Plane 11, which for years has dominated with the night environment scene. From its road traffic, 3D lighting, you name it, X-Plane wins it. Now onto the stability of both simulators. This, I can say, is very equal between the two. Both simulators do balance out their performance between GPU and CPU. Both simulators also utilise all cores and threads within your computer, and frame rates aren't too bad depending on your settings and where in the world you fly. I can happily give a draw for this category. Modability of both simulators, however, is a very different story, but this is something that can very much change in the future. As it stands, X-Plane 11 is backwards compatible to essentially all mods until version 8 of its simulator. Flight Sim World has locked out all modding at this minute, but it is down to the fact that the simulator is still in beta and development is still ongoing. It is also possible to mod Flight Sim World with a few tweaks I've discovered, but this is far from official yet. This gives me with two options: either to draw it and wait for an update to come, or give X-Plane 11 the point, which is what I have done for this score, let's say controversially. I'll let you guys decide in the comments about that one. Finally, we go to the most important aspects for any flight simulator, the flight dynamics. Flight Sim Mod uses an AccuFuel system integrated into all aircraft, which gives the aircraft realistic capabilities when flying, as well as camera movements that match that of the aircraft. Gauges will also react to the environment, whether there will be vibrations or heavy impacts to the aircraft through perspex shimmers. X-Plane 11 uses a system called airfoils, where the airflow around the aircraft is accurately portrayed within the simulator and is affected by the weather conditions, payload, fuel weight, centre of gravity and more. The airfoil system itself goes into a lot of depth, which more than I can explain, where the airflow based on the exterior model of the aircraft is accurate to the simulator. So for this, the only winner I can give here is X-Plane 11. So as it stands, X-Plane 11 dominates over the flight sim world on virtually all aspects. However, as I do mention throughout, Flight Sim World is still in early access and is a beta. This means that all of this could potentially change as Dovetail Games works on the simulator, adding new features and eventually aircraft to the simulator. But as of this exact moment, which simulator does take the edge? Well, it's not exactly hard to figure that one out.